Good morning, Pamborough's People Booster with your breakfast booster number 26, and that's Roger. I'm going to talk to you this morning about a book by a woman called Susan Cain, and it's called Quiet. You may already have read it. If you haven't, I will definitely recommend it to you. So I've been recommending it to people for years, people that I've coached or come across when I've been running workshops or doing talks at conferences, who've talked to me about the fact that they feel shy, underconfident and or introverted. And I recommended the book to them because it talks about introversion as just another way of being, in the same way that being autistic is just another way of being, a different, a neurodiversity, and that introversion, when embraced and managed well, really is a superpower. So in that book, what Susan Cain mentions is about being thin-skinned, and right on time, Roger, because Roger, as you will see, is a white and ginger cat. So don't. So around his eyes and bits of his ears, it's very, very pink, and obviously would be susceptible to sunburn. I believe some farmers put suntan cream on their pigs for the same reason. And you might know people who you would describe them as thick-skinned. Nothing seems to bother them. Now, in Susan Cain's book, what she describes is that some people are thin-skinned, so emotionally, their emotional skin, if you like, is quite thin. And some research found that it is actually thinner. So if you find that you are susceptible to being allergic or intolerant, ouch. Oh, I do love him. Then they found that the skin of those people, if they were emotionally susceptible to anger, upset, distress, drama, their skin actually was thinner. Their physical dermis was less likely to cope with things from the outside. So I just thought that was really interesting and something to bear in mind, because if you think of it this way, and when I'm doing workshops I talk about this a lot, that your superpower can become your super problem and vice versa. So if your super problem is that you're very sensitive to things, you're overly empathetic, you feel very affected by other people's stuff going on and all that kind of thing, it might feel like it's a problem, and it might leave you prone to more stress, distress, depression, anxiety, all kinds of other things. Managed well, it is a superpower, because what we see with that super sensitivity is empathy and sensitivity, and being able to tell how other people are, notice in yourself when things aren't quite right and there might need to be a solution. So in these tricky times, what's really important is that you have a level of self-awareness, that you understand yourself, that you know what you react to, what you don't react to, and what you need in order to be able to be as strong as you possibly can in the world. Ow! And cope with things like cat bites and random attacks from, ninja animals, those kinds of things. So that's it really in a nutshell, is how sensitive are you, and what do you do to ensure that you're not so susceptible to the flotsam and jetsam, the crazy stuff that's going around, and in general when you're in a high drama situation, how you protect yourself. I've got a technique called the shield, which I have on video. I'll put a link for you. And what that does is gives you a breathing and visualization technique to just kind of go, do you know what? That's not my stuff. And I'm always delighted when I do workshops around reducing stress and building confidence, that people take on this NMS and they'll stick it on post-its and posters and have that as a little mantra. It's not my stuff, NMS. you can swap stuff for another word beginning with S, but I'm keeping this family friendly. So when you notice there's stuff going on and you might get drawn into it, it might affect you, it might affect your thin skin, then know when it's not your stuff and you can just let go. So have a go at the shield technique. I use it myself all of the time, and find it very useful, just for separating out other people's drama. And of course, sometimes there is genuine drama for genuine reasons, but in order for us to cope best with any kind of crisis, a personal crisis or an external crisis, is to stay calm and be able to keep your mind freed up to think of great solutions and ways forward, and to stay calm in the crisis so that we don't get drawn in with all that adrenaline, which affects your immune system. So staying calm in a crisis, the shield is a great way to do that. I hope that you just have a little go and that you enjoy it. And I'm going to go now before I get eaten by wild animals, and I will see you tomorrow. I may have all my limbs. They may have perforations. I hope you stay safe today.